The street kids phenomenon is increasingly attracting attention worldwide in Nigeria. The case is no different except that the attention it's attracting is less driven by government, thus leaving the major part to unscrupulous bodies in the name of non-governmental organization with selfish interests. A correspondent, Samia, recently went in search of street kids in Nasarawa State and returned with these disturbing tales. The report.
These children are in Lafia, all the way from some communities in Katsina State. They have traveled thousands of kilometers, supposedly in search of knowledge. But they are on the streets, hanging around restaurants to pick the leftovers of customers' meals. Looking so sick, this 9-year-old boy says he has not eaten for hours. He says his parents brought him from Katsina, but he hasn't seen them in the last 4 months. The only thing he knows is the Quranic education, and that is why his parents brought him to Lafia.
I have spent 4 months in Almajiri school. My parents brought me here to study. I was not brought here to study Western education. We get food sometime when we go out, and we reserve some with our teachers.
In spite of fending for themselves, they are still clearly kids. With toy guns in their hands, they play cops and robbers. But on Thursdays and Fridays, these boys leave the local Almajiri school to go in search for food and money. Most times, they get little or nothing to fall back on.
When we go out, we get money. We keep some and use some. If anyone is sick among us, we use the money to get drugs. We don't go out every day. We go to our teacher's farm and help him to work. We don't attend the school built by the government because we were brought here to attend the local Almajiri school.
The locals here are not happy with the Almajiri situation. They say Boko Haram elements could easily take advantage of the boys.
The issue of Almajiri, when we are talking about Almajiri in Islam, Islam does not encourage Almajiri at all. Almajiri has no place in Islam. Islam encourages every person to wake up, work hard, earn your living. It is not ideal for you to get back to children and you scatter them in the street with the name of begging. Islam does not encourage that.
We are not encouraging Almajiri group. This is the sources of Boko Haram initiate. We are not welcoming Almajiri. It's not an Islamic culture. It's not an Islamic foundation. Anybody promoting Almajiri sector is not an Islamic sector.
Oh, Almajiri, this is something of Almajiri. Leaving those children walking about is not in the best interest of Islamic. Because moving around will cause so many problems. People have started to use them. That is what is causing the problem. They are one of the key suspects in this Boko Haram something. People say they are using Almajiri and they are condemning Almajiri. Why? Because people use them.
Only recently, the federal government established a school for Almajiris in several states, including Nasarawa. This is the school, but it is now home to internally displaced persons from Taraba State. So, for now, these children will continue to be on the streets until something is done by the relevant authorities. These children have to go out every day in search of their daily bread. For this 9-year-old, he has not eaten anything since morning. As you can see, his plate is totally empty. And for him, the future doesn't really hold much. Samuel, Court TV News, Lafia.